So with 2025 coming to an end, I made a lot of progress this year, and I'm going to be talking about what I did this year and where I'm going to be going next year. So I'm coming up on 3 years of climbing, and this year I probably saw some of the most growth. I not only sent my first V9, but I've also became a consistent V9 climber. I can usually send it within 2-3 attempts on a V9. I've also did a couple competitions this year, not as many as I wanted to, but I also trained really hard for the ones I did. And I ended up getting 9th at Boulder Fest in the advanced category, not open, not yet. Yeah, I've been making a lot of progress. Finally starting to consistently send at least one white every time I go to Boulder Project. And I've also been getting into lead climbing. This fall, my friend actually took me out to Vantage, and I pretty much learned how to lead climb out there. And since I did that, I don't want to top rope again. And you know, I feel pretty proud of myself because I met most of the goals that I wanted to meet this year. I wanted to send my first 9, wanted to consistently send 9s. Another goal was to send my first V10. And unfortunately, I don't think I'll meet it this year, but I'm getting so close. I can usually get one move away on multiple different 10s that I've tried, and it's just a matter of, I don't know, maybe technique. I think one of the biggest things is I need to learn how to use my energy efficiently, because I don't think I'm doing that very well. But I think it's just a matter of time before I send my first 10. I think all I really need to do is just send a soft 10 first, and that will give me the confidence to start sending more often and more frequently. But that is one of my goals for 2026, is to send my first 10 and to become a consistent V10 climber. Another one of my goals for 2026 is to send my first 513 on lead. I'm getting pretty close, but I want to become a consistent 513 climber on lead. And while I have been outdoors quite a few times, maybe 7 or 8 times this year, I do want to get more consistent in actually sending harder problems, because majority of the time I go out to Leavenworth, I'll work on the hard ones and not really send anything because I'm so short on time. Since I live so far away, I don't really want to spend an entire day making progress on just one. So I do need to make more time to just work on find a hard one and stick with it until I send it. But there is this one V10 in Leavenworth that I do think I can actually get with enough projecting, because I can make it 3/4 of the way through. I just need to figure out the crux, and I basically got it. One of the setters from my gym actually offered to come and set a pretty difficult problem on my home wall. So hopefully there'll be like a V10, maybe a couple of V9s on there. I'm no setter, I do the best I can, and I do think I have some pretty hard ones, but it's hard to say what grade they actually are. I also found out that I really like making wood holds. I've been making all these holds on my wall, and so far they've been working really well. None of them broke, they all seem pretty good quality to me. Been using different kinds of wood, experimenting, everything, and I've been really enjoying it. I might actually get into the business of making holds. I can be the local wood dealer. And I think one of the last things that I want to achieve or want to do for 2026 is get a training partner. Someone who has the same goal, wanting to send 10s and 11s, and specifically train on a schedule, because I think that's what's going to get me to become a consistent climber, and to constantly progress, because I've been progressing a lot, and now that I'm pretty consistent in V9s, I feel like it's starting to plateau a little bit. I think getting a trainer, someone to train with me, is going to increase that again. It's also really going to help me because I got this comp coming up in February, and I'm going to be training really hard all throughout January for it. This time though, I'm going to be doing open. I don't really care what I'm going to place, I'm just going to do my best, have fun, but I am trying to get within at least 15th place in open. But I hear that there's going to be some pretty good climbers that are going to be there, so gotta do my best and see if I can hold up. So the reason why I'm training this hard, working this hard, is because I want to end up going pro. And what pro means to me is basically getting paid to climb, making a living off of climbing or climbing related things. Climbing makes me happy, so I just want to make a living doing it. I want to focus all of my time on it. Climbing is one of those things that's just really satisfying for me. I love to see progress. I love to constantly work at being the best I can, and I feel like I have a lot of potential. I can really see myself like being good in the future, and I want to utilize that. You know, one direction that actually kind of interests me is becoming a climbing coach, because a lot of people always come to me and ask me for help with their problems, help with technique. Usually anywhere between 5 and 6 is super easy to help people. A lot of people enjoy having me help. And I've even helped people send their first V7s, sometimes even their first V8s. I like being able to help people learn, and I think that might be a good direction too.